years now. Yeah.
And I'm Dan Ackerman, one-time reporter for CNET, and you might also know me as the author of a book called The Tetris Effect that came out last year about the tangled Cold War history of the most important video game of all time, which of course is Tetris, which is the ultimate indie game because some guy in Russia made it on really outdated equipment, and we're still playing it now.
Is that book on sale now?
It is. I invite you to run right down this.
I mean, while we're doing cheap pops, I mean, you wanna hold up the yeah. I mean, you might as well.
It's literally in like Barnes and Noble and stuff. So check out the new issue that just came out on Tuesday.
I have no idea if that mic's on.
I think
like project. So I mean, we're video game journalists, so I guess I should start this off with what are you playing or reviewing right now? What do you think about it?
I'm playing a lot of Sonic Mania lately. I always thought Sonic was bad, even the ones that people think are good.
Oh no, come on now.
Those games, like they were good at their time, but whenever you have to like actually platform, like jump from a specific thing to another thing, the handling is so slippery and bad. I always thought, compared to like something like a Mario, like a Sonic game has never been as good to me as like its Mario counterpart. But what's so good about Sonic Mania to me is that they kind of take the feeling of what you think those old Sonic games are like and actually made that game and made levels that make sense for that handling.
The generation gap at play here, I think.
Because my question to you is, why do you hate joy? Why do you hate freedom?
I mean, that's why I'm a games journalist.
But those games were taxing and they were challenging. Like everything shouldn't be handed to you as a video game.
Sonic Mania is challenging, but I think it's challenging in ways that are just they make more sense. They make more sense for the character and how he handles.
I have not played it, so I will not. I'm just gonna look at you in horror.
Okay.
I'm actually about to jump back into Hellblade. Senua's Revenge or
Sacrifice.
Thank you. First game I've played in a long time that's dealing with permadeath. First game that I'm playing that realistically, I guess I'm going to say realistically, deals with mental illness. I love the mythology portions of it. You're playing as a warrior traveling to hell to free the soul of her lost love from hell. And I mean, it sounds kind of like Dante's Inferno, but it doesn't play like that. And I'm hoping there's not going to be a giant demon with a huge demon dong at the end of it, but time will only tell.
Actually, I played that game, and I thought that was one of the better games of this year. And it was a game which did something that I find to be very valuable for games, which is to renew our sense of possibilities of what games can accomplish. Hellblade has a type of psychological depth there. This woman who suffers from these auditory and visual hallucinations, she's trying to piece together her world, which has been destroyed via warfare. And it reminded me a lot of Spec Ops: The Line in the sense that it dealt with the psychological fallout from combat. I'm interested in games that do more than simply excite our adrenal glands, but help us to reflect and to think in ways which I think video games can be quite good at, insofar as they are able to put us into the shoes of a character, they're able to make us think empathetically, etc.
I completely agree with what you're saying. Looking for games that try to do something different, that push the envelope. I think that's why I find myself very driven by hardware these days, because within a definitive platform, things are very often very similar. That's why I think I spend a lot of my time looking at new things that are happening in VR and AR. And I think that a lot of games, frankly, on the Switch have done interesting things because it is new hardware that does things differently. And I think that difference is what makes some of these experiences unique and more interesting, because you can't just port the same mode. You can, but it's not a great experience. You have to make something new and interesting for the Switch, just like you have to make something new and interesting for VR and for AR. And I've actually seen some very interesting stuff lately. Something I thought just blew my mind. I can't talk about it yet. Maybe next Friday, if you guys have seen this.
Yes.
It's going to be super interesting, and it's a
Yay, embargoes.
to use new hardware. But one game I have loaded up, I've downloaded it on at least 3 different computers already. I have not gotten a chance to play it yet. But I'm very interested. Is that new one with Rutger Hauer? I think it's called Observer, and it's like a psychological cyberpunk kind of William Gibson-esque game. And those are genres we've used a lot before. But this one sounds like an interesting version of it, much like the one you guys were talking about, the Viking one. I'm looking forward to checking that out. I have an open mind going in.
Actually, just want to pick up something that you said. What do you think of the state of VR right now? Do you think that it's still a viable platform, or do you think, as some people I know basically think it's already a dead platform?
It's already at 2 balls and 2 strikes. We've had a year and a half of the hardware be commercially available. No one's really sold a lot of headsets except for Sony, but even that's not a big number. And the big publishing support is not been there. What's been keeping these platforms alive and interesting is the huge support from indie developers and indie game makers. A lot of times even first-time game makers who have a platform through Steam and through early access to go, hey, I've got something new here, and EA and Activision, these guys are not making games for this platform, which you spent a bunch of money on because you were an early adopter. Well, I'm going to step in here. And I'm going to do that. And there have been some, I mean, even now, a year later, I think the best overall VR experience is Rec Room, which is a free game, an indie game, constantly updated, fantastic community built in, does it so much better than even the handful of big publisher VR games have so far. And then the other kind of lifeboat keeping things afloat is the fact that Oculus/Facebook is pumping a ton of money into getting, mid-sized developers to make games for their platform, which no one else is really doing. That's why you have Lone Echo and you have Robo Recall, which are nice experiences. They're not the greatest games ever played, but you know what? That shows what happens when you give somebody some money and say, don't worry about making the money back. Just make something so people buy our headsets. Oh, the last thing is, though, if you ever thought about getting into this stuff, they're almost giving away that Oculus now.
Yes.
What was it, like $700 when it started?
It was
Now it's like
$7.99.
Without the controllers,
$500 or $400.
No, it's $3.99 with the
With
controllers.
the touch controller, which was $200 when it came out.
That's an insane value for something that's frankly pretty good.
Because I'm writing a large missive on the state of VR, and I'm hoping to talk about it at South by, fingers crossed. I disagree. I think it's still a young technology. I think that I do agree with your points about the lack of content, the cost effectiveness, the space effectiveness, because you, at this point in time, you basically need a small room or a smallish room to even get any viable VR stuff, unless you're doing Gear VR or Daydream. Thank you.
A really expensive computer,
Well,
and you gotta know how to hook it up. And you gotta go to work.
like you can get a $500 PC and still work.
That's not gonna be a great vibe.
I didn't say it was going to be great. I said it was workable. like don't.
But the big thing, it's not that it's buggy. It's that I know this stuff pretty well. People come into my testing lab, CNET, and they go, "Oh, let me try this, let me try that." Especially if it's like a big executive or something. I got to keep my fingers crossed because there's maybe a 60% chance it's all going to turn on and work right on the first try. Otherwise,
I never have those problems.
You're even Steam VR.
Well, you know what? I'm not, because I'm not showing off Vive. I'm showing off Oculus. Oculus is
That's a little better.
like that's
is,
I don't.
100% better user experience.
Like I have the Vive, but just the resources that have to be devoted to a Vive, it's not my main VR experience machine right now.
But if you want to experience a lot of indie games or a lot of free games, those are on the Steam platform, so you got to run Steam VR.
Yes, absolutely. But I also have a whitelist with Oculus, so I have access to all those games. So when it is time to do the VR fireworks, I have access to a lot because I like their experimental stuff. They have a lot of great demos going on. It's just that who's going to see them if nobody buys it. So I mean, it's like they almost work better in these kind of demo settings. Like when you're showing it off to friends, or over at Terminal 5, there's a lot of people showing off VR things. It's like no one's gonna want to buy this and have it in their home, but I'll go to a place that has a lot of different kind of VR stuff. Or the AMC at Kips Bay has all these different kind of VR demos and stuff. It's like
VR arcade.
Yeah.
Everybody's
I
dream is
think
to,
that's
you know,
where
a bar, a coffee shop, now it's open a VR arcade. Everyone's retail dream.
I think that's what it's going to be with Oculus and Vive, especially now that we have the backpacks coming out. And I've reviewed the
I do
MSI
the
backpack.
Yeah, yeah, I did that
It's
too.
$3,000. You put it on your back. You feel kind of like a Ghostbuster, and you run around wires free. It's a good thing.
There's
And
no way to look cool wearing a VR backpack.
lies, I have lies.
It's
I
a
make it
full
look
PC,
good.
It's a desktop with a 1060 or 1070, and it usually you strap it on. It's got these giant battery packs. It'll run for like 45 minutes.
Listen, I make it look good. Call me Will Smith. And HP is coming out with theirs. So the VR backpacks, take them or leave. I mean, they work as desktops. It's fine, but I
Wearable
mean,
technology.
yeah, all right. If you want to call it that, sure.
That Apple Watch, it's all
Like
it's all
it's all the
unnecessary.
semantics game. Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
I think what was shown is in the year and a half that commercial high-end VR has been out and not really making a huge impact, mobile VR is coming to fill that space, and it works, and it's inexpensive, and when the next iPhone comes out, it's going to be a big part of that.
It also gives the phones an excuse to like something else to hit
Yeah,
now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everything is built. Your phone is your video viewer now. It's your camera. It's your word processor. In some cases, it's basically your laptop. Now it's your game machine. Now it's going to be your augmented reality, mixed reality, virtual reality tool as well. Google and Samsung have already done a lot of work on that front. And when Apple comes into it, I mean that's just gonna launch everybody else out for a long time.
But we'll see what Microsoft is going to do. Like they're supposed to be launching their stuff this year.
Oh, those things are come on. Those things
I like the
those things are-
HoloLens. I mean, it's kind of it's a little
I
different.
don't-
but I like HoloLens.
I don't like HoloLens.
The mixed reality Microsoft goggles are all based on the same Microsoft stack. The experience is the
It's
hardware
buggy
goes
at
on the
best.
cloud.
It's
It's
like
not
it's
great.
not the holograms themselves aren't crisp. If you want really good, like a really good hologram experience, look at Meta. Meta is doing something.
I guess I mean more so like mixed reality as a concept in general. I prefer to VR at this point. Like, I don't know.
Well, if you're looking to raise some money for something, you go in and pitch mixed reality or augmented reality. That's a lot easier pitch because they can see the commercial, like literally the industrial application for that. Like, you know, I'm fixing a pipe somewhere in a building, so I put on my augmented mixed reality experience, and I can do that. Or I can use
But why do
sell
that
real
when you
estate.
have a phone that can do that?
Because that's how you're raising. Listen, I'm not raising money for my mixed reality startup, but if I was, I would talk about mixed reality a lot more than virtual reality because that's just what people are looking to invest in now.
I mean, but I'm just saying, why even do a headset when you have phones that can do it?
Because people want to make headsets, and you need an excuse to do it. Why do we climb the mountain?
I guess that answers the question: why does anyone need a $9,000?
We were just having this debate about this infamous gaming laptop, the $9,000 gaming laptop from Acer. It's like
Yes.
a weird special edition. It's a 21-inch curved display. It's got two 1080s in it in the laptop, and it's a limited.
It's magical.
How many were they making? Like
They made 500.
Okay.
There's a tweet I saw that's like some people are just looking to have their wealth redistributed. Like,
Yeah.
Listen.
Why is there a $9,000
Why not?
laptop? Because some people need to spend $9,000 on.
I've reviewed $10,000 desktops. I mean, why make anything like
yeah.
because you can. Like sometimes you need your desktop chassis to be done with automotive paints and custom colors, and you need 3 1080s or Titans in the SLI configuration. You need like 5 PCIe SSDs. And
I'm just gonna go live in the woods.
Well, it's interesting that this conversation shows us that the hardware really does drive so much of it these days. Outside of mobile games that are so cross-platform and universal, people are really pushing the boundaries and pushing the edge of doing it by playing true hardware.
So Destiny 2, what are you playing it on when it comes out?
God, I get so bored with Destiny 1.
Yeah, Destiny 1's a bad game. I agree.
I can't.
It's a bad game. It always was. I like what I played up to so far though. On PC, so that's probably what I was picking up on.
First price for that game. What's wrong with you?
We're all professionals here. It's not an indictment on that person when they worked on a bad game.
Heartless. What are you going to be playing it on?
PC probably. That's what I played the E3 demo on, and it's 4K 60, and it's the bounce is just a better way to play it. I'm willing to wait.
I think when you hit a certain demographic, age demographic, you have fewer friends who are kind of gaming at the same time as you. So it's tough to set up these kind of communal experiences. So what you need is an asynchronous, a more asynchronous remote experience versus a synchronous remote, or even a synchronous. The Switch does synchronous local very well, which is you're playing the game together at the same time in the same location. But when you're in your 40s and a parent and all your friends are the same way, and you get to play a little bit here and there, that's why things like Words with Friends and games like that were so interesting for a while, because you could do it at a different time in a different location, but have the social utility of that shared experience. And I think that's something that a lot of big games have missed out on, unless you're comparing like leaderboards.
I'm going to start out on PS4 because that's where I was playing Destiny 1, and then I'll jump over to PC because 4K gaming.
I imagine I'll do the same.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good.
I mean, help that 4K TVs are literally as inexpensive as cheap regular 1080 TVs now. So that move to 4K is happening, I think, faster than people predicted, because 4K is sort of the TV technology that everyone was like, oh, really? After 3D, everybody got burned by 3D on TVs. But it turns out 4K actually works, and you know what else works? HDR works.
It does.
HDR is a
Brilliant.
game changer. As long as people start to line up which version of it they're using, and the kind of the content and the player, but the TVs are there. I think the TV and the hardware in the TV is going to push so much in terms of innovation, in terms of consumer choice, because now you have a 4K TV, you're going to seek out that content. You have an HDR TV, you're going to seek out that content. And these things are inexpensive. You get them in Vizios now. Vizio is the best, cheap TV brand.
Yep.
And frankly, they make 4K and HDR. They don't make OLEDs yet.
Not yet.
But
Not yet.
Yeah, someday.
Do you think that the Vizio is now comparable to Samsung in terms of overall diplomability and
Oh,
quality?
yeah, better, 100%.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
Samsung
it's a TV that I have.
is barking up a lot of trees. So working at CNET, it turns out 90% of the questions you get are actually about TVs and what you need to buy, and that's okay. Listen, I've got a Samsung Plasma. It's funny. Everyone who works at CNET has a Plasma, and that should tell you something. We've held on to our Plasmas, even though nobody makes them anymore because they're just so much better than LCDs. Eventually, we'll all switch over to OLEDs once they're more widely available, more than basically one company makes the panels. But in the meantime, unless you're going to buy an OLED, there's almost no reason not to get a Vizio.
That's what I have. So.
See, look at that.
I have an LG,
Well, there you go. Yeah, LG is a company that makes all the OLED
Yes.
panels. So yeah,
and I dream of a Sony Bravia.
and they're Sony also makes OLEDs, but they use LG panels. So we're still kind of in the single market, the single seller market. Someday, I will say, I was talking to some guy from Dell the other day, and we were talking about our favorite. We all, it turns out, have the same favorite gaming laptop, which is the one gaming laptop you can get with an OLED screen, and you know what I'm talking about.
The Alienware 13.
There's a 13-inch Alienware that they make. It's not
Sweet
even that
Alienware
expensive.
13.
It's got a 1060 in it, but it's got this OLED screen, and it's just fantastic. And that's the one I keep forgetting to send back after we were done reviewing.
Oh, I told them they weren't getting it back. Like, it's mine now, thank you.
Right. So the guys who work at Alienware similarly love their OLED Alienware 13.
It's like looking into a portal. Like, it's so, like, you feel like you can reach in there and just, it's great. It's great stuff.
Lucid daydreaming.
In a way.
And even mobile games all the time, because so many of the good mobile phones have AMOLED screens, which is essentially the same thing. That black level, that color depth, I think it really helps mobile games push forward when they might have been in danger of sort of being left behind by the fact that the hardware was not advancing as quickly graphics-wise as PC hardware was, or even console.
Yeah, even like Super Mario Run with all its like reused new Super Mario Bros. Graphics, just seeing it on that kind of clarity was just interesting. Like, yeah.
We're talking about 4K TVs and graphics and stuff of that nature. Does it matter to you? Does that mean that all games now have to have that high polish? Can you go back to playing something? Can you go back to playing Mario Brothers 1? Or something just super, super spritey?
Yeah, but I think that stuff doesn't, I don't care so much about that stuff in terms of, graphical fidelity. I can, but I'm not going to blame anyone who can't.
I'm a bit of a, I like things to look nice. I feel like that's what explains all the hardware we invest in. But, the retro thing has a certain nostalgic value, and that's why they sold all of those little mini Nintendos last year, and that's why people are freaking out over the mini Super Nintendos. I know a lot of people got the mini Nintendo, they plugged in once for 15 minutes, and then they were just like, hey, I did a picture on Instagram, I got one, and you didn't. But that was really about the extent of it. Although the Super one looks like it's got some cool stuff in there.
Yeah, it's got better games.
The Super one definitely has better. It has my childhood on it, so I'm gonna pay that $80 for it.
I value original artistic experiences, I think, more than just visual razzle dazzle. So I would say that some of my favorite games this year have been small indie games like Night in the Woods or Everything. Just take Everything. This game that has very simple graphics, but it's unlike anything I would say anyone here has played before. I mean, this is a game that's all about the interdependence of all living creatures, and it uses snippets from the British philosopher Alan Watts to undergird and to refine this concept. That was something I found just utterly exciting. I would rather play that than to play something that takes a full advantage of my video Titan.
You can like make animals dance in that game, right? You can be like
yes,
camels just frolicking.
Right.
Nice.
All right.
And that's interesting because I think one of my complaints over the many years has been that the technology and the technique in games has gotten so good, but the writing and storytelling, there were occasional examples where everyone goes, okay, that's really great. But frankly, even a lot of like big AAA titles, it's like Sci-Fi Channel movie level writing and voice acting. Even in
Example.
Frankly, everybody loves Horizon Zero Dawn, but if you listen to it like it's a movie, it's like a made-for-cable movie at the time.
And even like it's aesthetic, like it's all very technically accomplished. But like all the Bluetooth cave people, like BS, like I found it was really eye-rolling.
That was probably the best. Yeah.
All these white girl dreads, like.
That's interesting because especially at smaller indie developers, you have a lot of people who are frankly technical geniuses and have that nailed, but they don't realize you have to invest in storytelling in the same way, and you have to have the same high level of demanding the best, and you have to study the other arts, whether it's novels, whether it's filmmaking, no matter how advanced we think of storytelling in games and how emotional it can get sometimes. Nobody's doing characters like Elmore Leonard in games. Nobody's doing dialogue like Walter Moting. It's just not happening. And I don't know what the answer is. I don't know why.
Well, actually, I'm gonna challenge you on that. What about What Remains of Edith Finch?
I haven't played it yet, but I heard it's very good.
That's a fantastic game.
Yeah, there's a couple of good examples that kind of prove the rest of the for everybody else. But yeah, sure.
But that's a game that actually has a sort of a literary level quality of writing, and also is introducing a new gameplay mechanic every 10 minutes. You're constantly doing something that you have not done before in this game. It's only a 3-hour game, but it provides an extremely concentrated experience. That's something else that I value from games now. I want games that don't waste my time. I don't need another 100-hour game where 60 of it is fluff, and I'm just like seeing a variation on the level that I played before.
Did you play Tacoma?
Yeah, I played Tacoma.
What do you think of that?
I thought that the writing was okay. I mean, I like the fact that they made a game that's not based around combat. That's great. I really like the method of interaction. I thought it was rather mundane in terms of its execution.
Well, now I'd ask you to play Edith Finch because that sounds awesome.
Yeah,
Edith Finch.
No, it's good.
And I like what you said about changing up the gameplay style. I think you were talking about Destiny before. One of the reasons I stopped playing. And with the original game, I went so far as I brought my work PS4 home with my home one. I had friends over, and we were playing 2 PS4s in the same house on 2 different TVs. Like, I gave it a real fair shot. I'm just saying. But after you did it for a while, I've done it.
It's good shooting.
Nothing else to do. Okay.
Yeah.
I really liked Prey this year, but after a while, I feel like I've kind of seen everything that's going to happen here in terms of discovering new things. The story might change, the monsters. I've done it already. And once I get to a point in the game where I feel like I've done it,
yes,
I'm like, all right, I'm going to move on and do something else with my time now.
So are open world games dead?
Yeah, Zelda came out this year. It's great.
Yeah, but there's a lot of repetition there. A whole bunch of repetition. Like how many times can I puzzle solve in a dungeon? Ooh, another dungeon.
They're really good.
Ooh,
they're
another
really
dungeon.
good puzzles.
Ooh, another dungeon. Ooh, ooh, ooh. How like is it
I don't
dead?
know, the thing I felt about Zelda is like it still feels very crafted. Like you play a Ubisoft open world game, and you can just kind of see the grid where they're sort of slotting content blocks into. And with Zelda, like I don't know, parts of it felt like a Rockstar game too. I think kind of similarly feels like it was designed with purpose and not like we're this like French Empire of a company. We're having a little colony studio just make the parts that sort of fit together.
I think it's impossible to say that open world games are dead when I imagine that everyone here at this panel is salivating thinking about the new Rockstar game, thinking about that Red Dead
Yes,
Redemption.
I'm gonna spend 100 or so hours in it, but I am gonna hit a point where I say, oh, yet another mission where I might be picking flowers. I'm gonna pick the flowers, but in the back of my mind, I'm gonna be like, again.
Well, to give him credit, I was never a big Zelda guy, never loved any of those games. I'm always a little dubious of all the Nintendo love that happens. I feel like I'm off the Nintendo friends list now after I maybe revealed too many secrets of their negotiations with the Russians back in the 80s over Tetris. But I have to say, Zelda was pretty freaking good. And I was like, I can't believe I'm enjoying this as much as I am. So credit for that. And I always loved games like Oblivion and Skyrim and going all the way back to Morrowind. And all the Fallout games. Eventually, you do hit a point in those where you go, all right, if I didn't hit the end yet, I'm just going to move on and done everything. But I think that's such an interesting field that we don't have enough games in that are well done. There's a lot of cheap attempts at it. Just make a giant map and let people run around. But you have to, like you said, you have to really focus the experience.
Yeah, because it's the genre that they hit on this generation of like kind of cynically like here's the type of game we can make that will kind of hit the graphic standards that people are wanting, and we can kind of fill in with enough kind of content that makes them feel like they have something that's long enough without having to make like a ton of different kinds of assets for like a wider variety of levels. I guess it's like here's sort of the thing that here's like the formula we figured for making a AAA game. I guess there's a genre with like good and bad examples like how like any other.
Absolutely. So, what's your least favorite gaming cliche?
Like a kind of mechanic or like
Whatever it is.
That's why we were talking about Hellblade, but like I really dislike permadeath because I really don't like having to redo stuff in games. It's like I don't know. I don't like. It's less so like the tension of like, oh, what if I lose everything, and more just being kind of preemptively annoyed at having to redo stuff. So like I don't know. I really don't like permadeath. That's why I like Advanced Wars better than Fire Emblem.
I hate amnesia. I hate it with a passion. I hate like, oh, the hero of the tale has lost his memory and doesn't know who he is. Now he's a bad guy. But suddenly he remembers he's a good guy. I hate it. It's done. I don't want to see another amnesia game for maybe 5 years, maybe ever. I can't with amnesia.
What if you forgot all those games within amnesia that you have played, and then they were like fresh to you?
Why do you do these things?
I suppose maybe I hate shoehorned multiplayer experiences. I didn't, for instance, play the multiplayer on Uncharted. I just didn't feel a need to.
I don't feel a need to.
Yeah.
I feel like even though I'm looking primarily for stories and storytelling and characters and interaction games, overly long cinematic cutscenes that go on and on with a lot of exposition because it violates the same thing that you would tell a writer or a novelist not to do, which is show, don't tell. And if I'm sitting around for 10 minutes while you tell me, show me, let me discover that, let me have the characters interact in the game more freely and develop that dialogue and that exposition through their actions or through their conversations and more natural dialogue. And I think we're moving now to an era where, frankly, machine learning allows us to build more natural dialogue engines that have not really shown up in a lot of games yet, but I think the possibility is really there to be much more conversational rather than have nicely animated character A talk to nicely animated character B about the problems with their tribe and monsters.
So like dialogue that'd be like generated based on what you're saying, or
well, why not?
Okay.
I mean, or at least a lot more options than just even ABC is pretty good, but the emotional. I like what Mass Effect was sort of the emotional wheel and your ability to drive a conversation much more so than just listening to people talk to each other for a while. The playwright who wrote Glengarry Glen Ross, he had a great line. Anytime, this was some advice he wrote for people working on a TV show, said anytime you write a scene where two characters talking about a third character's not there, the scene is a piece of shit. So for anybody writing for games should read this famous David memo, which is about some like FBI show he used to be a consultant on. It's like 10 pages long, but it's brilliant. And you should also read that Elmore Leonard 10 Rules of Writing.
Now, I talked about some of the games that have surprised me this year, but I'd like to hear what are the games that have surprised you. What have been the most surprising moments that you've had?
I think it's astonishing that they made a Resident Evil that's good. Like Resident Evil 7 is really great.
Ooh, I don't.
Oh, I really like it.
No, come on, man. That's good stuff, especially with VR. Like, no, I challenge you to do that game in VR.
I played a little bit.
I challenge you to finish it.
Okay, I did not.
That's the reaction. It's also that came out in January too. Like that's the beginning of like the kind of crazy year we've had. It's like years. Yeah, that's a thing.
I don't know if I've been surprised. I was happy. All right, I was happily surprised about Horizon Zero Dawn. It was better than I thought it was going to be. It's a beautiful game. It actually justified the PlayStation Pro for me. I did like the story. I don't care what you say. Like, I liked her dreads. I don't care what you say.
Okay.
It wasn't like I didn't feel like I was trudging through. It wasn't like this 100-hour slog, and I'm just doing it because I'm a completionist. I need to find everything. I wanted to explore that world to really get, and I was happy for the DLC. I genuinely like Horizon Zero Dawn. But in my off time, I've been playing like old games. I went through Shantae Half Genie Hero.
Oh, that game's really neat. Yeah.
I love that game.
Yeah,
I love
it's
that.
Really cool. I was playing on the flight to E3. Like,
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
It's just light, happy fun, especially after because I'm like now that there's been some shift in our gaming coverage. I'm doing all the horror. I'm doing all the suspense games. So I just needed
with this like peppy cartoon genie.
Yes. I just needed some joy in my life. So Shantae has been giving me that.
Yeah, I think I was super surprised by how good the Switch was after being dubious about what that company's up to for a long time, and how good like Mario Kart is the game that gets the most play in my house because I've got a 5-year-old and he and all his friends come over and they just go nuts for Mario Kart, and they've done so well making multiplayer so easy because they just take the two hands of the controller off, and then you can just add 2 more, and boom, you got 4-player split screen going. And it's like the game kind of drives itself if you turn on all the auto steering, so it's great for kids. So I was super surprised by how great that was. And I will try if you have a VR demo at the Game Store, I will try that out. At an indie game, I'm always looking for new and interesting experiences as people sort of discover what this really interesting, really high-end hardware can do.
Did you try Transcendence?
Remind me which one that is, because all the names kind of sound the same after a while. But I bet I did, because I think that sounds really familiar.
E3, Ubisoft, PSTV.
Maybe I didn't. But I did. I did like the one. All the VR games now, the names jump out of my mind because they're all very similar. Conductor, where you're on the train and you have to like feed the coal into the train to go from station to station and solve puzzles. It's kind of like an escape the room. It's like you're going along a train track, and each train station is like a room you're trying to escape from to keep the train moving. You're on the run from some sort of
the train's running on time.
Autocratic government that's chasing you down.
Oh, the MTA. No, Transcendence is basically you are a soldier and you are trying, like it's a therapy, like Ubisoft played it up very well. They make you sign a waiver. They make you watch this video.
Oh, was it the thing with like Elijah Wood that they had during their...
Was it Elijah Wood?
I think so. Their press conference.
I kind of zoned out during it. I was writing during the press conference.
Okay. I think it was him. It was somebody like that.
Yeah, and like you're trying to piece together your life and figure out what happened to you and your family, and
sounds like amnesia.
Kind of, but no, but every time you make a wrong move, there's this demon with a shotgun and you get it to the face. It's a very good VR game. I highly recommend.
Okay, I have 2 problems with VR. One is, listen, I like horror games, like Resident Evil games running way back. I can't handle the jump scares of the game. I just can't do it. And stop putting like giant bugs and spiders in VR games. I'm not having it. It's not. We talked about this infamous incident years ago when the PlayStation VR was still called Project something or other.
Morpheus.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was at E3, and I went to like the little upstairs demo room for it. No, not the kitchen. I'll tell you, it was the game that became the one that's out now with the gun peripheral.
A Farpoint.
Before it was called Farpoint, before the thing was called PSVR, I'm like, hey, put that on. I'm like, okay, I'm good.
I was in the room with you.
You might have been. And they're like, okay, I'm a space guy. I'm going into a cave. This is cool. And then these giant space spiders come crawling out of the cave, and I just say out in front of the whole room, I go, what the fuck? And I just start. I shoot a couple of space spiders. I take I'm out. Get the thing off me. Done. Goodbye. There's so many VR games. They're just full. Maybe there's like some like freeware 3D model of a spider that everybody uses because it's in every goddamn VR game.
I mean, Gear VR has a thing to help you with your fear of spiders.
I don't want help. I just don't want them in the game. There you go.
We have a few minutes left, so kind of
we can open up. I think we should open up for questions.
Yeah.
Questions, comments, opinions.
I just feel like online is so cutthroat now. like I play Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, right? And I'm in a house where a lot of people are using the internet. And I beat this dude like 2 times. And the dude switches his characters, he picks another team, and then he beats me like 3 times straight and then quits. And then he sends me a message, he's like, die, you lag, F-U-C-K. And I'm like, dude, that could be like an orphan in an orphanage amongst like other orphans, and we're all sharing the same internet. Like, you don't know what my situation is. Just die, you lag. And I'm like, dang. And it seems like every game I'm playing online is like, it's so cutthroat. Everybody trying to get their rank up. Everybody's like, oh man, dude, playing with these idiots, now my rank about to drop. Versus you playing Mario Party with your friends. Y'all may, they call that the friend killer, right? Like, you lose friends in Mario Party. But what I'm saying is, like, at the Mario Party, you still having dominoes or whatever with your friends in the same house, and I just wanted to get your opinion on that. Local multiplayer versus, online.
Huge fan of local multiplayer. I was super bummed that Splatoon didn't have split screen because it seems like perfect for the Switch. I was like, really?
My favorite multiplayer. Splatoon.
It's so
Definitely.
good.
It's great, but if you could do same, split it up on the Switch, just like you do with Mario Kart, that would be like an awesome family game. Local is great for families. It's great for multi-generational games. It's great for playing with your friends. I mean, that's what we used to do in college. We just played
GoldenEye forever.
I was going to say NHL like '94, but yeah. But the online, the anonymity just makes it so poisonous in so many ways. It just turns so many people off to gaming that you damage the entire community and the industry by just having this like wild west of just nonsense out there. And it's been that way for so many years, but I feel like it's so much worse now. I don't have an answer for it, but I also love when games have local multiplayer. I taught my son how to, I must have inadvertently taught him how to trash talk. He played Mario Kart a lot on the Switch, and he said to me, can I trash talk now? I go, okay. He goes, I'm going to beat you. Like, all right. Yeah.
It's always like common.
Yeah.
Trash talk, like, you suck, first place in the blue.
That's just social utility. If you're doing it and you can see people in their faces and their reactions, you know you don't really mean it, and that's fine. Online, when people get into some dangerous areas, it's not fun anymore.
Like, if the game itself is good enough, I'm willing to suffer the other people to play it. But yeah, like, I'll take local over online every day of the week.
I'll take local too, but local can be like a spades game. Play at your own risk. Like, you know who you playing with. Like, I've seen many a fight break out over spades, but we still play it. Online, like, it's a little more hazardous as a woman. Thankfully, knock on wood, I have not been trolled too bad or gotten anything crazy. But like, I definitely do make a note to mute unless I absolutely positively have to talk to my team.
So I have a real question, but first I wanted to say that Sonic was my generation, and I totally agree with you about the jumping. Like,
Thank
it's
you.
Super mushy.
It was
and,
always just kind of
it was like, oh, this is a game, seriously? Like, I'll just play
Yeah.
Mario. I warmed up to it. I don't hate Sonic. I like
Play
Sonic too.
Sonic Mania. It fixes all that.
Yeah. So anyway, but that's not my question. So my question is, so you talked about like the state of storytelling in games, mentioning What Remains of Edith Finch is like a kind of a real literary achievement. Tacoma, maybe in your opinion, or the opinions of some people on the panel, maybe not as much, but like we're happy that those games are coming out. But I guess like when we talk about, you know, there's not a lot of great storytelling, but a lot of those storytelling games are making no money. So for example, like Edith Finch like made no money at all almost. It was like a huge financial disappointment. Tacoma like also made almost nothing, which was like a huge, I mean, one of these theories is like that's why Gone Home suddenly went on sale, because, you know, it's like that Tacoma didn't make nearly as much money as they needed. On the other hand, Firewatch is still making a lot of money. So I just
Why is that?
well, that's my question to you. I don't know. It's kind of why it seems like people say they want these storytelling games, and we love storytelling when they're in other genres like Mass Effect and Fallout and stuff, and they get like huge critical reception and everything. Like everybody loves them, they win awards, but then there is this real struggle to kind of define a market space for them. But then there's like a few hits that it's like Firewatch is like still it made more money this month than either Edith Finch or Tacoma. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on like what is the problem there?
One thing I'd like to think is that some of these games that really have quality storytelling, I'd like to think that they have the potential for long tail sales. So if you take a game that I really love that came out about 2 years ago, Soma, which I think has one of the best end games in all of video games, a fantastic science fiction game about consciousness and what does it mean to be human. That game had disappointing sales when it came out, but this year they finally, not only they broke even, but they finally made a profit. Praxis, the game that made it. So
Frictional.
Oh, it's frictional. Sorry.
Frictional games.
Praxis, right? Frictional. I'd like to hope that Edith Finch certainly will find an audience, because you're talking about a game that has at least a 9 out of 10 user rating on Steam, and so I'm hoping that through user reviews, through word of mouth, that game will find some love. Another fantastic game, I don't know how the sales were, but Nine in the Woods, if you're interested in these types of games, Nine in the Woods is one of the best written games I've ever played.
I think part of the issue may not only be that some storytelling narrative games are not doing well, it's I think luck in the market overall. There are a lot of like 8-bit style games and platformers on Steam that also don't do well just because there's so many of them. So it may not be something unique to that style of game. Although as long as we're plugging ones that felt really good, I'm going to throw a plug for Oxenfree.
That was good.
Yeah, it is good. Yeah.
That was such a great storytelling experience, precisely because I think the dialogue had the right pacing to it. A lot of times, this is a very technical sort of complaint, but a lot of times it's too slow. You got to do what I think it was Howard Hawks used to do as a movie director, and he would have his actors read through a scene, and he'd time it. He goes, okay, it took us 60 seconds to do the scene. Now do the scene again with the same dialogue, but artificially speed yourself up so that it takes 35 or 40 seconds, whatever the difference is. On screen, it looked and felt much more natural. If you're doing a lot of dialogue for your game and it's dialogue you're really invested in, try the artificial speed up. I think on the screen as you're playing, it will come off much more natural. I think a lot of these games, when people start talking, the momentum just dies.
Yeah, but I want to hesitate against such universalizing of what is a successful aesthetic, because Nine in the Woods, which is about it's a game about a young woman. She returns home from college to her small town, and her small town is an economically depressed place. I think that the game is successful precisely because it's a game that courts boredom in the player. You experience going through many days that look like other days, but of course these days have subtle variations, and it's finally when things really start to break apart that you feel like you've lived in this community. So I think that things like slowness, those can be used successfully. It really just depends on.
No, I completely agree. I'm thinking very specifically about how you deliver dialogue in a scene between characters. Like I wish the tribespeople in Horizon just talk a little faster and not pause dramatically between things. Trust me, it'll feel much more fluid and lifelong.
Maybe this last question or comment.
Thanks a lot. There's been a lot been said about narratives and following storytelling of movies. What are some of the movies that you think would make for interesting themes, narratives, whether it be an indie, a blockbuster, whether it be a T2, whether it be a Mad Max or some indie film? What do you think would translate well into a game as far as storytelling?
I'm going to give you an example that's not so much movies as it is books. I think I'm shocked that everyone makes, science fiction games. Everyone makes sort of sword and sorcery style games. Everyone makes post-apocalyptic games. Other than Rockstar, there's very little contemporary crime drama in games. And I mentioned Elmore Leonard, Walter Mosley, just as great authors. There's got to be room for like a great detective game, or a great police procedural game, and I'm just shocked that I don't see that, and I hope somebody goes and makes that game, because I will play it.
Or a great spy game. I mean, hopefully Rockstar will
Just wait for
find
Agent.
us the agent
Yeah.
one day.
I love Speed Racer, and I think all art can stand to learn from it.
And that's
A
a
movie,
perfect
not-
closing note. Speed
Yes,
Racer.
I
All
know,
right,
I know
thank
what
you,
you're
everyone. Give
saying.
these guys a round of applause. Thank you guys so much.
I mean, it was pretty, but
It's great. It's art. It's transcendent.